Hey guys, Corey here. Welcome to Blue Talks, and I hope you enjoy this video.
Thank you so much. And it is an honor to be here at Oxford, England. I watch the English movies, so I love the history that's here. I love the presence that's here. And also, Oxford has a future that's here, which is totally amazing. So I want everyone to picture themselves in front of a beautiful, tranquil lake. It's a gorgeous blue. The sun is shining. It's warm. It's glistening on the water, and you can feel the warmth on your back. You bend over, you pick a stone, you feel the weight in your hand, and you think, wow, perfect. And just with a flick of a wrist, you watch it skim on the water. 1, 2, 3, splash. It sinks. That's the moment that you feel loss. And that's what it feels like. That splash of the rock hitting the water. And if you look closely enough, you're going to see the ripples that come from the splash. And those ripples are what happens afterwards, the losses that come from your one major event that you feel is broken. And some of these, when we skim the stones and we look at these losses, these are losses that are unexpected because they're coming out of a surprise. The people that walk away from you because of what your experience is. And sometimes you can even have a divorce, a job that is terminated, even losing your home that you never thought was possible. And when we experience loss, we always think of the ones that are loud, because those are the ones that everyone sees. We know that. We can see when someone has experienced loss because they're huge. What we don't see are the silent ones. We don't see the losses that affect us, how we lose trust, how we lose feeling safe, and how we lose community. And a lot of times when we tend to name our losses, things that happen are the routines that we had are no longer there. Some of the people that we thought would stay with us forever are no longer there because they've drifted away. They feel uncomfortable in what you are experiencing. And there's really no words for what you are going through. Back in November of 2009, my son, weak, his voice very faint, goes, "Mom, I want to go back to the hospital." Those words pierced my heart because I knew that this time it was different. This time, he wasn't going to come back alive. And a week later, he died of leukemia after his journey with cancer for 11 years. And what followed then, and what I share isn't for pity or sympathy. It's to showcase how all of us have a loss that affects us quite deeply. And what happens afterwards when we have the silence of the home being quiet, or the people that we thought would be around us, and they're almost like ghosting us. And you're like, okay, I didn't ask for this. Or the ones that kind of go, at least. Don't you love it when people go, at least? At least you don't suffer. At least you have another son. At least you have. And they go on, and really what it is, it's actually disregarding your pain. It's disregarding who you are and what you've experienced. In some ways, I call it disrespect. Have you ever felt erased by someone else giving you comfort. They're well-intentioned, and yet you're like, please, can you go find something else? And then we kind of look at loss and we're like, okay, we've had the big one. That's enough. We shouldn't get any more. Guess what? Losses still come. There's no quota that says you're only allowed X amount and then that you're done for your life. You're not. 6 months later, my dad died. And so the waves keep coming and we never see them. And a lot of times we have a tendency to stay busy, to hold it together, to be strong because that's what we're taught. And it's not your fault. We've been conditioned from childhood that something happens to either replace it, to look at things where getting over it or moving on. This is what we're taught as children. Can you imagine why, as adults, we don't know any better? So I'd like you all to inhale and hold your breath for a few seconds. And exhale, release. If you had to hold your breath, how long do you think you could hold it before your body wants to exhale? That's how we keep loss in. Loss is the exhale that we're not allowing our bodies to do. Because our bodies remember what the mind wants to forget. Our mind wants to forget the experience. We want to forget the event because that's what we're told. That's what healing is. If we get past it, or if we say, as people go, you need to get through it. And then you're like, but where am I going to get through it? Because if I go through that tunnel, I don't remember that there's another place that has the unicorns and the rosy gardens, because life doesn't happen that way. And so we need to look at loss and pain in a different way. Because let's face it, none of us want to hurt. I certainly don't. And I'll tell you right now, I'm the biggest chicken you've ever seen. And so we look at what does pain mean and loss. And do we do, I love the quote by John Green that says pain needs to be felt. I believe that is so true. Because it's about breathing, allowing our bodies to breathe, which is, people will say, acceptance. It's not acceptance because a griever knows who died, right? We already know that. What the acceptance is the acknowledgement of your hurt, of your pain, because it's not going away. And we don't forget the events that happened in our life, no matter how much other people may want you to not say anything. So in some ways, what we do is we need to learn how to carry both pain and love in one breath. It's not a choice between love or loss. And it's not a choice between, do we get over it or move on, as other people have said. I don't believe that we ever get over our losses. And it doesn't matter whether it happened recently or 10 years ago or 20 years ago. Or it's something that when we start acknowledging what our pain is, what our losses are, that actually gives us the freedom to lift the heavy burden off of us. It allows us to say, yes, I've had experiences in my life. Who hasn't? It doesn't define who you are. It adds to who you are. Because a lot of times what we're fearing most is we're fearing that if we heal, we're going to become a new person. There is no such thing as a new person. You're still you, the person you were beforehand. What has changed is your core beliefs that have been stripped away because of losses. You are now questioning who you were and were your beliefs the ones you should be believing. And so one of the things too is that A lot of times we'd like to delete pain. I know I do. It could be as easy, like we swipe left on our phones and it automatically deletes. Wouldn't it be so nice if we could do that with all of our pains and hurts that we've had in all of our experiences? Doesn't happen that way, does it? We're actually coexisting with our pain. And this is the work that I do. I work with people who have experienced loss, not to show them a new way. It's to say, what is the right path for you? Because we are all unique. And even though we've had losses, how we're going to experience them, how we're going to react to them is going to be different. What we do need is how are we going to carry it in the same breath, where it allows you freedom to live life without forgetting and to live fully in the present and in the now. And not forgetting what your experience has been, but you live from the scar rather than the hurt. So you can move in life from your wound, from your scar. And that then allows you the opportunity to say, yes, I can exhale and not be hurt by it. And so I want to thank you all for being here and listening, and to say that love and loss is in the same breath.